presentation of Fox Sports.
We are sports. We are Sun.
The New York Yankees are red hot, winning 7 of 8 and taking over the division lead in the American League East. Today, the Rays look to narrow the gap, sending lefty Blake Snell to the hill in Game 3 from the Bronx. The Rays visit to New York as we greet you from the Bronx, just north of Manhattan in Yankee Stadium. Game 3 of the 4-game series on tap between the Rays and the New York Yankees. Rays look to pick up some ground in the American League East. The Yankees have moved into first, a half game ahead of Boston. The Rays are now 3.5 back, and they're 2.5 back of the second wild card spot, trailing the Kansas City Royals. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to an afternoon of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Good to have you aboard. We'll hear from Alex Cordry throughout the afternoon as well. Well, the Rays and the Yankees have gone through the first 2 games of this series, and the Rays have struggled dropping the first 2 games, and Brett Gardner has been a very part of the Rays' problem.
How many times have we talked about a guy this season already with a career high in home runs? I mean, the Rays have 2 of them in Logan Morrison and Steven Souza Jr., but Brett Gardner with numbers 18 and 19 in this series has set a career high. He had 17 back in 2014, but 19 this year, and the big ones against the Rays. That was the walk-off on Thursday night, and then he would hit a blast last night off Austin Pruitt to lead off the game. Here it is, and that would be just about all the Yankees would need, the way that Masahiro Tanaka threw the baseball. Another one of those guys, Dwayne, when you look deeper into the numbers, the highest fly ball percentage of his career.
Yeah, and for the Rays, they'll have the left-hander Snell on the hill. Blake, a couple of things. Number one, he's trying to get the Rays back on the winning side, and he's trying to pick up his first win this year, and he's coming off his longest outing, 7 innings.
Yeah, in his career. And if you look over his last 3 outings and look at the numbers, let's focus in on that last start, because that really is the driving force behind his last 3 starts, where he's got a 338 earned run average and a 224 opponent's batting average. You look at that last start in those 7 innings, he was much more decisive. He worked with a quicker tempo, and there in turn allowed him to get into a much better rhythm, and that will be what to look for here this afternoon if he can repeat that performance.
And the matchup on the mound, a couple of young left-handers. Caleb Smith making the start for the New York Yankees. He is 0-1, and Blake Snell on the hill for the Rays, making his 13th start of the year. Rays baseball against the New York Ball Club. Rays, by the way, 0-5 this year at Yankee Stadium after dropping the first game 6-5 and 11, and last night 6-1. easier for the Rays. Yankees starting today 55-46 in Houston, 68-34. But the focus for the Rays today on this New York Yankee Ball Club, and we'll take a look at the Rays starting lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Peter Borges will lead it off. He'll be in center field, followed by Steven Souza Jr. in right, and then Evan Longoria, the DH. Lucas Duda in the lineup at first base hitting cleanup. Trevor Plouffe is at third base with Corey Dickerson, and left he'll hit sixth. Tim Beckham at second base. Adeiny Echeverria, the shortstop, hits eighth, and catching today and batting out of the ninth position, Jesus Sucre.
Well, taking the mound this afternoon for the New York Yankees is going to be left-hander Caleb Smith, making just his third appearance as a member of the Yankees, his second start. You can see limited action, 6 2/3 innings, does have 7 strikeouts and put up very good numbers down at AAA Scranton before getting the call here with the big club. Let's take a look at the defense and see how it's going to line up this afternoon. Brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source. And in the outfield, left to right, we have Clint Frazier, Brett Gardner, and Aaron Judge. Across the infield, third to first, Todd Frazier, Didi Gregorius, Ronald Torreyes, and Garrett Cooper, with Gary Sanchez behind the plate.
Joe Girardi has his club back in first place. New York with a couple of wins here to open this series. They won 5 in a row, and they lead the division for the first time since the close of play a month and a day ago on the 28th of June. And the Rays will face this New York ball club looking for victory, trying to turn it around for Kevin Cash. The Rays 2 games over 500 as they start play, 53-51, down from a season high of 7 over. First pitch of this game is a fastball, and it's too high. A ball, no strikes.
Well, Caleb Smith going to come with that fastball, a good changeup against righties.
This pitch swung on a drive high and deep into left center field with some carry, and it's out of here. Home run for Peter Borges. Leadoff home run for the Rays center fielder, and it's 1-0. Borges connects a towering shot into the bullpen.
Trying to turn the tables a little bit. Saw Brett Gardner do this a night ago, and Peter Borges hunting fastball. He gets it, and boy does he hammer it. We've seen Peter Borges, not known for his power, hit some tape measure shots, and this one left center field here at Yankee Stadium. You got to blister it to get it out of here.
Pitch to Steven Souza Jr. is upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, Borges getting a start against the left-hander, and it's already paid dividends. 1-1 the count. 21 home runs for Souza Jr. That's foul right back, 1-2. First home run for Borges since the 6th of July when he connected off Chris Sale. Oh, 2-2. And a cut and a miss. Souza out on strikes.
Well, Caleb Smith, known for that fastball changeup combo to righties, will mix in a slider, and that's most of the time to lefties. But look what he did down at Scranton. 16 games, 15 starts, but the numbers really jump out. 8-0 record, ERA 2.07. Gave up just 63 hits in his 87 innings to go along with 86 strikeouts. So Yankees like what he did down there and have rewarded him with this call.
Borges greeted him with the home run. Now 1-0 the count to Evan Longoria. 1-1. The home run for Borges, his second against the Yankees. He hit one earlier this year here in New York at Yankee Stadium of Severino, the right-hander. It's upstairs. It's now 2-1. Evan with 16 home runs. It goes to 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And that's the big pitch for Smith, especially against righties. And we've seen 3 swings and misses at it. He really maintains good arm speed with that changeup. It's about 8-10 miles an hour off of the fastball. There it is.
And he comes right back and strikes out Longoria. The word on him, fastball changeup, as you mentioned. And that slider was a pitch he was working on to gain greater consistency with that. And that is a big question for him in terms of longevity.
And that's why in the minor leagues he has been bouncing back and forth at times, you know, between being a starter and pitching out of the bullpen, being more of a swing guy. As you see that the changeup's very, very good. But you're right, if you're going to be a starter, especially at this level, you're going to need that third pitch.
It's a first pitch strike to Duda. Lucas Duda homered in the game last night. He hit 17 with the Mets and came over, hit a home run in his first game in a Rays uniform. Two balls and a strike. After a strikeout and a flyout, he worked a 3-2 count in the 7th inning and homered off Tanaka. He may have had the 2 best at bats against Tanaka last night. First time up he struck out, but he worked a full count and a 10-pitch at bat against him, and that was something as good as Tanaka was last night.
Yeah, Tanaka with 14 strikeouts, but Lucas Duda, you're right, comfortable in the batter's box. Look at that line. No walks, 14 punch outs.
Yeah, that was the first time the Rays had seen an opposing pitcher put up a line like that with that many strikeouts and 0 walks. 14 strikeouts, no walks.
We remarked on it last night, but that was the first time in a long time where you felt that the Rays were never in the game. Just were never in the game. When it was scoreless, you didn't feel like they were in the game. 1-0, didn't feel like it. That's how dominant the Yankee starter Tanaka was.
Plouffe goes after the first pitch, pops up the fastball, and Cooper at first makes the catch. So the Rays get a run on the home run by Peter Borges, leave one, and will carry a 1-0 lead into the bottom of the first inning in the Bronx. 1 here in Yankee Stadium with the Rays on top 1-0. Take a look at the lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Brett Gardner again leads off, followed by Clint Frazier and Aaron Judge. Catching, hitting cleanup is Gary Sanchez. Matt Holliday, the DH. Didi Gregorius with a 10-game streak at shortstop. Garrett Cooper hits 7th. Todd Frazier 8th. Ronald Torreyes, the number 9 hitter at second base.
And for Blake Snell this afternoon is how can he build off of his last start, his best start of the season. He went 7 strong innings. That was a career high in innings pitched. Gave up 3 earned runs and really didn't even need to give up that many. Those came after he left, but just 1 walk. 1 walk to go along with 4 strikeouts, and he was working with a quick tempo. And let's see if he starts out the game the same way.
First pitch to Gardner. 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, that seemed to be part of his game plan the last time out. And if that indeed is the case, it certainly helped him pitch well and deep into the game.
Well, it's what we talk about all the time about setting the tempo. You know, you be the guy that sets the tempo and gets into a rhythm. And, you know, we noticed it during the course of the game. After the game, it was talked about, the quicker tempo. And obviously his rhythm was so much better. So, I mean, it's a case study on why, hey, get the ball, have an idea, and go get him.
2-1.
It's just there's no upside to, you know, roaming around. And you've got a handful of pitches. Sometimes 2, sometimes 3 or 4. You know what you want to do. You know what the game plan is. Pick a pitch and let's go. And by the way, the guys standing behind you, they love it.
There's a foul ball. 2-2. Well, they're a lot more engaged mentally, which leads to them being physically better, I think, without question.
You're alert, you're on the balls of your feet, you're athletic, you're waiting for a play. Have you ever heard a player talk about how he loves the pitcher that takes a lot of time in between pitches?
Yeah, they love standing out there a long time.
Settle into my position, get a good feel.
Get comfortable. And the shot toward left center field. On the run is Dickerson. He makes the catch. Corey Dickerson reaching up, angling back to his left toward the track, and with that glove hand extended, hauls it in. Nice running grab by Dickerson in left center.
Boy, he saved the day for the Rays right there. Gardner out to left center field. You're immediately thinking 3 bases. How deep it is, and right there, Corey Dickerson able to stick that glove up there at the last second and make a nice running catch and keep the Yankee leadoff hitter from extra bases.
Well, that's where that triple went in the 9th inning here Thursday night to open the 9th. When the Rays thought they may have gotten out of that, and that ground ball slipped through, and that allowed the Yankees to tie the game and go on to win it. Nice catch there by Dickerson. Well, first pitch strike to Frazier. And this one is skied to right. Souza Jr. makes a little adjustment. That wind blowing in from left, and that time it caught that ball a little bit, but not a problem for Souza Jr. 2 outs. Temperature in the low 70s here. We've had overcast skies and some rain overnight in the area, but it has been great weather for baseball. Aaron Judge takes it away. 1 ball, no strikes. 308 on the year for Judge. Leads the league with 33 home runs. Second in runs batted in, 74. A big cut. 1-1.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about the right-handed pitchers against Aaron Judge with the slider down and away. Today, for Blake Snell, you think about that changeup. That changeup to try to get Aaron Judge to just really start that swing a little bit early. And if he does that, he'll give up the outer part of the plate.
2-1.
He's a guy you got to be careful with. He's really shrunk the holes in his swing. And you got to be careful coming in on him, pick your spots. And if you're going to be away, you'd rather be down and away more than anything else. And you see that's where Sucre wants this pitch.
There you go.
And we go to 2-2.
That's going to be it all day. You know, the sliders down and away from righties, the changeup of Blake Snell down and away to try to get him to commit early. And we know that he likes to fly those hips open. Well, that's what happens when you do. You're never going to reach that pitch.
And a cut and a miss. He is out on strikes. 1, 2, 3 in the first. Go the Yankees. Rays lead 1-0. On Fox Sports Sun, brought to you by your local Ford dealers and by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. Through an inning, the Rays lead 1-0. Come in to hit in the second with Corey Dickerson to lead off. Good start for Blake Snell in that first inning. So Dickerson, Beckham, and Echeverria to bat against the left-hander Caleb Smith.
Yeah, that sequence to Aaron Judge was advanced, very advanced. I mean, Blake Snell looked like a pitcher, not a thrower.
Well, these are the things the Rays have been looking for out of this young left-hander. And the last outing very encouraging. And nice to see that first inning here. 1-1 to Dickerson. Dickerson down in the lineup here in the first game Thursday. Homered and singled. His 19th home run of the year. It's 1-2.
Yeah, Caleb Smith showing a better fastball than what we had heard coming in. He's been in that 94, 95, someone up at 96 range.
Fouls this one the other way.
That's a good right there spoil by Corey Dickerson. That was a nasty slider. Maybe Caleb Smith's best of the afternoon so far here in the early going. But when you flip that pitch and it starts to show you that Corey Dickerson may be seeing the ball a little bit better.
2-2. Well, that's one of the things he did so well during the first half. He was going to make some kind of contact with almost any pitch up there, whether it was fair or foul. He fouled off tons of pitches to keep at bats going. That's a hot shot down to first. A low liner grabbed by Cooper.
Well, he may have saved his left shin from being shattered. That was a rocket off the bat of Corey Dickerson, and it got on Garrett Cooper right now. Pitch delivery, get that out of the way, and he see that he was able to get that first baseman's mitt just underneath the baseball.
Beckham takes a pitch wide. No.
I don't know about you, Dwayne, but the trade deadline got weird for me last night. Got weird. You had A.J. Ramos go to the New York Mets, and the Mets had just traded Lucas Duda to the Rays, signaling that they're out.
Yeah.
But they trade for Ramos.
Sellers, then immediate buyers.
Well, then what about the Orioles?
Yeah, Hellickson goes to the Orioles.
Right.
Yeah. What?
That's what I said. That's what I said. I mean, just a strange couple of trades there. Did not think that the Orioles were going to be buyers, and that may not even still be a buy, technically speaking. But, you know, Hellickson was on the market, and they went out and gave him Hyun-Soo Kim and Clevenger out of their bullpen to pick up Jeremy Hellickson as a rental, by the way, as a rental.
Yep. Yeah, there's a swing and a miss, and some people wondered about the Rays getting Duda. You know, and it's, well, there's a left-handed bat. They lost Rasmus. He could pick up some of that. And now Logan Morrison, who has this bad ankle heel, did not play last night, not in the lineup today for the same reason, and we'll see what comes of that.
And here's the other thing that's interesting. The more that you dig into this situation, Lucas Duda, you say, okay, Rasmus, he's going to be your left-handed DH. Well, what about Brad Miller? Yeah, Brad Miller. Okay, if you're going to play
up somewhere,
right? Because or Corey Dickerson.
Yeah.
Corey plays out left all the time. Then that leaves you Brad Miller for your left-handed DH.
And Beckham pops it up.
Oh, that's a hit.
Toward the line and right, and that's Judge coming on to make the catch.
I was focused only on Garrett Cooper, and he had no chance.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for Aaron Judge to come swooping in.
Yeah, well, when Judge closes in on the area, whether you got a good beat on a ball or not, you're probably going to leave that play, and that's what Cooper did.
If you're smart. He should be in training camp right now.
Yeah, no kidding. There's Echeverria. One ball, no strike.
You know, so that's where your logjam is.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because
and that could affect second base and DH and left field,
right?
And the makeup of the lineup.
Right.
2-0 here to Echeverria.
Well, the trade could not have come at a better time concerning, you know, Logan Morrison and the bruised heel. And, you know, hopefully it's just, you know, a couple of days type of a situation. But in the meantime, you hold first base down with Duda. And they're going to get his bat in the lineup. Let's be clear about that.
Yeah.
You know, we saw him last night blast a home run, a lot of power, looked comfortable in the box, and he's just going to be a guy that's going to see a lot of playing time here with the Rays, one way or the other.
Now 2-2. Rays facing Caleb Smith. Turned 26 yesterday. Drafted out of Sam Houston State by the Yankees, and he goes upstairs with a fastball at 96 and strikes out Echeverria. An inning and a half. 1-0 Rays.
Listen,
second. Reminder, the Rays making a splash all season long, and now kids get a chance to dive in next Sunday when the Rays host the Brewers. Kids 14 and under receive swim goggles presented by 7-Eleven. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com. Rays up. Seen a lot of Rays fans here during this series, enjoying the city and Rays baseball here at Yankee Stadium. Gary Sanchez will open the inning for New York, then Matt Holliday and Didi Gregorius. First pitch is popped to the right side. That's going to be difficult if it's fair. Duda cannot get there. Fair ball, and it bounces into the stands after dropping just fair inside the right field line. Well, not the hardest double Sanchez will ever get, but it was difficult to track, and drops in there for two.
This is what's so frustrating about this game. You go back to Brett Gardner, launches one into left center. Corey Dickerson runs it down, saves a double, maybe even a triple, and then you get this. Gary Sanchez not even sure where it was off the bat, and ends up being right down the line, and then the high hop into the stands. Just a little bit, a couple of feet fair there, maybe a foot fair, and up into the stands it goes, and the Yankees lead off double.
Twelfth double of the year for the New York catcher, and here's Matt Holliday. Holliday hitting .234, has 16 home runs. The DH. Fastball up. No ball, no strikes. Tapper, third base side. Let's Plouffe in to make the pickup, and Sanchez goes to third. So one away with a man at third for a hot hitter, Didi Gregorius. Gregorius carries a 10-game hitting streak into this game. Single in a run his last time up last night in the 8th inning to keep that going. He's the 9th leading hitter in the American League, and he fouls the first pitch fastball back, strike one.
We've been swinging the bat very well for the Yankees, flashing some power here as of late. And right now looking to get this ball into the air. The Rays defense not all the way in, but certainly close enough to be able to make a play on Gary Sanchez. You can see right here, middle infielders a little bit back, but Gary Sanchez not a burner. So they're still in that area where a ground ball to them, they could still cut him down at the plate.
There's a fly ball back to center. Borges there trying to get the momentum, makes the catch, and the throw's going to come to the plate, but not be in time. And Sanchez scores. Well, we're seeing that wind is going to affect fly balls, and you can see Borges battling to try to get himself into position, not only to catch the ball, but to make a throw.
Yeah, the contact and off the bat, Borges, you can see him make that initial break and then realize the wind knocking that ball down. And that's what actually gives him a chance to get this ball off, and Sanchez able to get in there and tie the game up.
Here's Cooper. And he takes the ball. Garrett Cooper, 5 of 24 for the Yankees. They've been at Colorado Springs. Grounds this one through the hole. Base hit into left. He'll make the turn and hold.
It looked like a changeup that he was able to stay back on. Hit the ball on the ground, but able to find a hole on the left side. And if you're Blake Snell, you just got to keep telling yourself, I'm still throwing the ball all right. That was a seeing eye ground ball between short and third. The double by Sanchez was a kind of a fluke double. So don't read too much into this right now.
Pitch to Frazier is a strike call. Frazier, 17 home runs overall, one since coming to New York, 9 games with the Yankees, hitting .250 with a homer and 2 runs batted in. 1-1. Blake Snell on the hill, facing his 8th man. So far, he has 4 first pitch strikes, and that's something to watch with Blake Snell. Ground ball. Beckham is there. He'll make the throw to first to retire the side. A run on the fly ball, getting Sanchez home, and we're tied 1-1. Crest Coors Light. Rays have had a difficult streak here in New York. In fact, a couple of spots also against Kansas City, consecutive road series loss to one opponent. And for the Rays here in New York, that's 8. The Yankees at Baltimore, 11.
How about that? This place can be difficult for a lot of teams. So, the Rays at the Yankees. How about the Rays at the Royals? I mean, I'm going to leave that one alone because the last time I talked about the Rays having a bad series in Kansas City, it caused a little bit of a ruckus. So we're going to steer clear of that.
Yeah,
but 7 times.
Facts are the facts.
They are the facts. Some people just don't like them.
The soft little liner, and it's over the head of Gregorius. Base hit into left for Sucre.
There was a sprinkler head involved in one of those rough series against Kansas City.
Yeah, I think so. Something that we haven't seen in about 30 years, but nevertheless.
That's how rough the series was.
Well, Peter Borges will be up here. He opened this game with a home run. 5th home run of the year for Borges. That's a strike. foul out of play. He's behind 0-2. Well, the left-hander Caleb Smith, originally drafted by the Yankees and then was selected in the Rule 5 draft by the Brewers. And then they almost immediately traded him to the Cubs, but he was still with them under the Rule 5 draft. And that meant that they were going to have to keep him or offer him back, and he was returned to the Yankees at the end of March this year. He just went out to the minor leagues and went 8-0. Earned a trip to the big leagues. And there's that fastball missing, but one in the mid-90s.
He's shown really good velocity and a very good changeup. The slider has been inconsistent, but that was kind of the report coming in. And so right now you just try to nurse him along, get him as deep into a game as you can without exposing him.
Tap, shortstop. Gregorius goes to second, and no chance to double up Borges. Sucre off the bases now, forced with Torres taking the throw from Gregorius. The more speed aboard now with one out. It's Borges.
Boy, no chance to game. You see Sucre peeling off, and Borges not even in the camera. He's down the right field line.
Yeah, he'd broken out a camping chair and put something on the grill by the time that throw arrived.
You guys done? Can I take a lead now?
Here's Souza Jr. Back in.
There, a one-way lead by Peter Borges, and all that means is you take your lead, and the only thing that you're thinking is drawing a throw, and your first movement is back towards first base. You're just trying to read the left-handed pitcher. These guys have not seen Caleb Smith before. Want to understand what the move is like.
Souza Jr. fouls a pitch out of play. 0-1. We're in the third, game 3 of this 4-game series. 1 on, 1 out, a strike to count. And Souza out in front.
I'll tell you
down
that
0-2.
that pitch is a big pitch for Smith, and he continues to execute it well. There's the changeup, and you see it just dies at the end. And hard for these Rays hitters to hold up and hold off of swinging at that pitch. And that'll be the key, to try to recognize a little bit earlier and let that pitch go, because most of the swings and misses have come on balls.
That's a line drive, and it's in and out of the mitt of Gregorius, who tried to make a leaping catch, and everybody's going to be safe. Borges, for just a split second, kind of caught in no man's land, and he saw that ball pop away from Gregorius. He hustled into second, and Souza's aboard with a base hit.
Boy, oh boy, that went from this inning could have been over, because Borges would have surely been doubled off here. But boy, the ball pops out. It rolls too far away to be able to make a play on anybody. Great effort there by Gregorius. That line drive, and oh, he would have been trouble. He would have been in big trouble. It's okay now.
And it will get Evan Longoria to the plate. Oh, he fouls it down off the foot. Down he goes.
Boy, he got himself pretty good too. That was a slider moving down and in. He pounded that right off the legs. Took his feet out from under him. That inside of that left foot.
Ron Porterfield, that trainer, looking on from the Rays dugout.
Chewing on that gum like it's his job. A tense moment. Evan Longoria with it off his ankle, and he's still not feeling real comfortable to get back in that box. Give him a second.
Evans struck out on a changeup his first time. Getting another look at Caleb Smith. Away. 1-1. Two and one. Smith spent all of last year at the AA level. 27 appearances and only 7 starts there. Now 3-1.
Hasn't really threatened the zone since the foul off the foot. Not taking advantage of a situation right there, and Caleb Smith has pitched himself into trouble here. 2 aboard and a 3-1 count.
And there's ball 4. The bases are loaded. A couple of hits in the inning and a walk. Fielder's choice ground ball in the mix as well. So they're loaded for Lucas Duda. And Larry Rothschild will make a slow walk to the mound. The Yankees pitching coach heads out there. Reminder, kids, Evan Longoria would like you to read your way to the ballpark this summer through the Reading with the Rays program presented by Suncoast Credit Union. Kids receive prizes for reading and 2 tickets to a Rays game for completing the program. You can sign up by visiting your local library. For more information, visit raysbaseball.com/reading. Right now, Longoria testing that foot after fouling one of the Smith's pitches off his foot. Doing a little running up that right field line. So Duda against the lefty Smith, who walked him in the first inning. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
Well, big spot here with the Rays cleanup hitter at the plate. A chance to have a big inning, and you want to take advantage of these in a building that you've struggled in, winless in this season.
It's 1-1. Well, the Yankees have some early action in that bullpen. There's never any reluctance to go that way.
This is October managing. This is playoff managing. This early, trouble, and you start getting a guy ready. And that's what, you know what, Joe Girardi and the Rays, you got to give them credit too. They have both come into the series saying this is a big one. This is a big one. We're not going to shy away from it. And he's certainly managing like it's a big one.
Yankees have taken the first 2 games. Rays trying to get out of town with a split with today's game and 1 tomorrow. It's 2-2. The fly ball into center field. Gardner will go back to make the catch. Borges tags. He will score, and the Rays will retake the lead on a sacrifice fly. Nice job, Duda, getting the run home. Borges scores. Souza Jr. advanced to third. And it's 2-1 Rays now. 2 outs here in the 3rd inning.
Really nice job by Duda with 2 strikes and a guy out on the mound, and Caleb Smith, who's trying to put you away. Took a tough breaking ball down and away for a ball, and then lifted one out to center field and got that run in.
Trevor Plouffe, little tapper, third base side, picked up barehanded by Frazier, throw to first, out the call. Wow. Cooper comes up with the throw from Frazier, who made the barehanded play down at third. Some flashy defense right there to limit the Rays to just the 1 run. And here's another look at that play.
Boy, this saves a run. What a play by Todd Frazier.
It's 2-1 Tampa Bay. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. New York will have Ronald Torreyes to lead it off, then Gardner and Frazier. Blake Snell on the hill, 4 of 8, and first pitch strikes so far. Here is first pitch to Torreyes, and it's a strike. Comes out with a mid-90s fastball. Down to third, fair, past the diving Plouffe. That ball kicks out to Dickerson and gets away from him. Boy, for a moment it appeared there might be an outside chance of a play in second, but not when that ball kicked away. So Torreyes winds up at second, and just like that, a threat by New York with the top of the lineup coming up.
And Torreyes got a changeup down in the zone, and he just rolls over it, but rolls over it, hits it hard enough. You get it by the diving Plouffe, who's played a little bit off the bag and shallow, not as much range. And that ball off the low wall, see where he's at, even with the bag. And so he just doesn't have the time to get there. And really all he probably would have done was keep Torreyes at first base, but a lot better than him being out at second. No double play in order and a runner in scoring position already.
Brett Gardner, the top of the order. And strike one. Gardner out in the first inning on a good catch by Dickerson in left center field, tracking it down. Did he go? Rays want the appeal. Gibson says that is a strike. Well, Gibson behind the plate last night when a lot of strikes were called And he's at the ready down at third, and he did go.
Yep. Just a little bit too far. Tried to hold up.
It's low, blocked by Sucre.
It's one thing these catchers have to know with Blake Snell on the mound. He gets to 2 strikes. You know, he creates such an angle with that slider that pitch, when he's throwing his 2-strike slider, I would say, 60-70% of the time it's going to hit dirt. He brings that thing in tight and low to the ground, but because of that angle, because of how tall he is, he still will get some swings at it. Going to be ready to block it.
Down there again, 2-2.
Yeah, that's the norm, and you got to know that going in. The thing that's nice is these guys have built up such trust factor that Blake Snell not worried about throwing that ball down there and trying to get a chase in the dirt. And that's where a lot of times you have to go. That pitch has got to be really, really close to the ground.
And boy, what a difference that can make.
Yeah.
If you're on the mound, and you've been there, BA, when you have that kind of confidence in a catcher, it's a completely different world.
Well, imagine if he didn't have confidence in Sucre and that pitch was not a part of his arsenal, you know, or he felt like he had to keep it up in the zone.
Yeah.
Well, those are the ones that get hit. You know, guys protecting with 2 strikes, you've got a better chance of making a mistake if you're trying to keep it in the zone as opposed to trying to be aggressive with it at the bottom of the zone and then taking it out of the zone. But if you don't have confidence in your catcher, you're not going to do that. You're either just not going to throw the pitch,
which is a significant part of your game,
right,
that you're just giving away.
Or I'm going to try to throw it kind of in the zone. That's bad too.
Yeah, you're taking what could be a positive situation and really turning it into a defensive situation. And he got him right there. Oh, now we're going to have a little bit of a discussion there between Sucre, who thought, or at least tried to sell it, that he came up with it.
And he did off the bounce, but maybe you say swing and a miss. No foul ball. Let's see. Well, you're not going to be able to tell anything here. That ball certainly bounced.
Yeah. Let's see if he missed it. Yeah, I'm not sure he made contact.
Well, I mean, in real time, I didn't think that he did, but these guys not much of an argument put up.
Now the count is full. And Sonia behind the plate. I wonder if Trip Gibson would have called out a strike last night. A swing and miss.
Oh, he would have rung him up with a moonwalk.
He's one of my favorite umpires now. I think he's doing more. They talk about time of game and moving it along. That's the biggest weapon to do that. Open the thing up a little bit. It's fouled back. I mean, we got all the pitch tracks and we got all of that. Trying to figure out this. We're just waving men to first on intentional walks.
Well, the time that's
just open the strike zone. Hitters know. Everybody's on the same page then, and you're moving it along.
Well, we've had our second meeting here, catcher pitcher.
Yeah.
Second meeting of the at bat. So that's another way. But I love the intentional walk thing, because the time that's really shaved off, it's what a difference maker. What a step.
Well, another 3-2 pitch about to be made. Sky to left. Dickerson is there and makes the catch, and Torres still at second base. We'll check in with Alex right now. How are you?
Doing great, thanks, Dwayne. Well, April 23rd, 2016 is the date that Blake Snell made his major league debut. He remembers it like it was yesterday, and it was here at Yankee Stadium The lefty says he loves the atmosphere. There's nothing like pitching in front of 50,000 plus fans. He feeds off of the energy. Now, as you all were talking about earlier, he's coming off a stellar performance facing the Orioles, and Rays manager Kevin Cash hopes he can build off that as Snell looks to put on a performance here today in the Big Apple. Dwayne.
Well, he's in a big spot right now with a man in scoring position, 1 out, and there's a pitch that just misses, and we're trying to keep track of these first pitch strikes. That's 6 of 11. And that could make a big difference in his game if he could improve in that area.
Well, there's no doubt about it. And that goes back to the rhythm, the tempo, working fast and pounding the strike zone. Blake Snell obviously being sent down to AAA.
A little tap, Plouffe in to barehand it, pick up and throw. Nice play there. And over to third goes Torreyes.
And take that, Todd Frazier.
Yeah, we've seen the 2 third basemen in this game. Todd Frazier make a great play in the top of the inning. A pretty good scoop by Cooper on the receiving end, and now Plouffe here makes a nice play on this ball hit by Clint Frazier.
Right, it certainly is. I'll tell you, when these infielders make plays like that, you don't realize how difficult that is. As you're charging a bouncing ball with top spin on it, and you're just going down, forget the glove. I'm going to go down barehanded and throw it on the run. These guys make it look so easy, and wow, very tough.
Aaron Judge pitches away. Finally got Judge striking him out with a slider in the first inning. It's 1-1.
You go back to that first pitch strike, Dwayne, that you were talking about. Blake Snell, because of going to AAA, doesn't have enough innings to qualify. But if he qualified, he would have the lowest first pitch strike percentage in Major League Baseball. The lowest. And obviously, it's right now coming in, he was at 52.9%. And that would be the lowest percentage in the game.
Yeah.
And so you improve on that number, and things will become a little bit easier for you. And I'm sure that's a big focus here with Blake.
Yeah, it really, I think, is the primary part of his game. And if he can improve that, then it opens a whole new horizon for him.
It allows him to get to his secondary pitches quicker. Say he falls behind 1-0. Well, now he can come with his changeup, but that's a changeup to get you back to even, as opposed to the 0-1 changeup to get you to 0-2.
Yeah.
There's big differences there. And then the slider comes into play, the curveball that he can spin up there.
And a swing and a miss, or maybe a fastball, and just throw it right by Aaron Judge. We'll take another look at that one. Man left at third, and the Rays lead 2-1. Today's Geico great moment. This day in 2006, the Devil Rays pound out a team record tying 19 runs here at Yankee Stadium. Actually at the other Yankee Stadium, and that helped greatly by a major league record tying 4 doubles from Tomas Perez in that 19-6 victory.
They're watching the highlights of that game right now.
Yeah, how about that? We saw some great faces from the past. Johnny Gomes, Deanna Navarro, Travis Lee, all topped by Tomas Perez. Corey Dickerson with a 1-0 count. It's fouled right back into the screen. And it's 1-1. Dickerson, Beckham, and Echeverria due up. One and two. Balls, 2 strikes. It's Beckham on deck. A piece of it. The fastball. Caleb Smith, the left-hander, 26 years old.
He's appeared in 2 games for the Yankees coming in. 3 innings of relief against the Twins, 3 2/3 innings in a start against the Mariners.
Dickerson out on strikes. 3rd strikeout for Smith.
He goes with the left-on-left changeup. We saw that a couple of times earlier in this ball game. That was against Lucas Duda. He missed both of them way up and in his first at bat. But here he comes back, executes the changeup, and gets the swing by Dickerson.
Beckham 0 for 1. Ball caught by Judge in right field in the 2nd inning. That got part of the plate umpire Dan Arsonia there. Foul ball, and Steve Donahue, the Yankee trainer, see that one coming up and got him. It appeared maybe under the mask there a little bit.
Yeah, right. Look close to that left collarbone area.
Yeah. Well, that's always a good sign. The trainer's leaving and he has a new supply of baseballs and talking with the rest of his crew.
Chip Gibson asking if he could switch places with him. Get back behind the plate.
Yeah. No, you call all the check swings a strike and everything will be good. Yeah, it's not easy being an umpire.
No.
Wow.
You know, they should. You know what they should do? You know how the Rays, you know, teams around the league have throwback games?
Yeah.
They ought to do an umpire throwback game. The big chest protector back. And lean in there like it's the 70s all over again.
You know,
why not?
I love your marketing mind.
Why would you not? I mean, that's umpire throwback night.
A multi-talent here to my right.
Well, easy on that. That's not the case at all. But I'm telling you, that would be. I would love that. Put him back in the old unis and
then
give
you'd
that.
have no low strikes and all high strikes with the big balloon chest protectors.
Yeah,
You're talking about
leaning in there. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, like a shield. You slide your forearm through there.
Yeah.
They have to. They'll do that. They will do that someday. They have to.
Yeah. American League used those, for a long time, and with that forearm, that right forearm, you'd slide it in. You couldn't get it out to call a strike. So that was a problem.
It was. Well, you got to pick. You got to pick the day that you do it wisely. You got to pick wisely and have the right guy behind the dish. I mean, listen, if the Rays can have a throwback game with fake throwback uniforms,
yeah,
we could certainly do an umpire throwback uni ball game.
Count is full, 3-2. Yeah, but one should never, I was going to say eliminate, but that we don't want to do that. But one should never curb the creative urge of the imagination. And that's where those throwback uniforms came from. Well, there were no throwback uniforms, but
no
imagination.
Yeah.
Originality, go for that.
They did. They went straight 70s.
Yep.
And for a team that didn't exist back then, they came up with it pretty good. I mean, listen, it's been used year after year after year, and people enjoy them. I like them. They give you that Padres kind of feel, but they've got the bright colors,
with
the
better
70s
colors.
look. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, a walk here to Beckham, and Girardi's out, and so that's going to be it. Joe Girardi has a stacked bullpen, and he's not wasting any time to get into that bullpen today. Call to the bullpen right here, brought to you by the Florida Lottery. Top of the fourth, Florida Lottery presents Family of the Week for Life scratch-offs with a top prize of $5,000 a week every week for the rest of your life. The longer you live, the more you keep winning. That's Winfinity. Must be 18 or older to play. Play responsibly. Caleb Smith leaves with a man on. One out here in the fourth inning. 71 pitches for the left-hander. And with the right-handed bat of Adeiny Echeverria due up, Adam Warren gets the call from the New York bullpen.
Well, Joe Girardi making the call early, getting his bullpen into this ball game. He does have a pretty formidable bullpen, and it starts here with Adam Warren, but he really is managing this ball game as if it was a playoff game. I mean, this is the difference between, most of the time, regular season and postseason. This is how the postseason is managed.
Well, Girardi and the Yankees in first place in the division for the first time in a month. And so they're playing like it, managing like it anyway.
Yeah, and you know what they'd like to do is they would like to push the Rays as far away from them as they can. Right now it's a 3-horse race in the American League East. And they're trying to, you're never going to eliminate the Rays even in this series, but they're trying to do what they can to push them as far away as possible and start to create some space in the division. And that's what he's managing like a must win here in July.
Over to first. Back in is Beckham. Echeverria with a strike count. Takes it wide. 1-1. Rays scored a run in the first on the Peter Borges leadoff home run. And another run driven home on a fly ball by Duda in the third. The New York run came in the second. Sacrifice fly by Gregorius. And a move to first. And you could see Beckham maybe start to go the other way and then get back to first.
Well, the Rays with the lead, have that tendency. They're an aggressive team anyway, but with the lead, they become more so. And let's see. Yeah, he's leaning right there.
Yep, right. A little lean, and then, better get back.
And the lead that he has is not that big.
And even shorter then.
Well, and with his hands on his knees. That was the I'm not going anywhere. And they still throw over.
He's asking Cooper, I'm not going anywhere. What are they doing? Just as soon as you do that, he might take off. Warren holding the ball on him, and the pitch is fouled back. So it's 1-2. Beckham reaching on the walk, 1 on, 1 out. Echeverria, the number 8 hitter in the lineup. Sucre's on deck. Now with Sucre waiting to hit next, you want to at least get Beckham up to second base. Put him in scoring position for Sucre. As good as he's been with men in scoring position. This one down and away and stopped by Sanchez. A 2-2 count. And a cut and a miss. A little start and a stop by Beckham, and a strikeout of Echeverria.
Boy, a slider that started really maybe on the edge or just off the plate away. And he breaks it off even further. Starts off, ends way off, and Echeverria can't reach it.
Pitch down to Sucre. Sucre started the day at 246, has a base hit. It's wide from Warren. Warren last year divided time with the Cubs and the Yankees. Combined 58 appearances. And he's behind Sucre 3-0. That's a strike at the very top of the zone. 3-1.
Anything that he can do to try to get back into this count, because the last thing that you would want to do is walk the 9-hole hitter, get Borges to the plate with 2 runners aboard, already trailing by a run.
Borges opened this game with a home run. He has scored both runs for the Rays. Runner goes. Pitch, a swing and a miss. Throw down. That's going to be in time. Correa is taking the throw, and Beckham is caught stealing for the 4th time this year. Final out in the 4th. For the Rays, no runs, a walk, a caught stealing, and nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's 2-1 Tampa Bay. Fourth. Super Rays fans assemble next Saturday. The Rays host the Brewers in an interleague matchup, and the first 15,000 fans receive a Rays-themed Marvel Iron Man figurine presented by Crown Automotive Group. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com. Rays up. On to the bottom of the 4th inning. Gary Sanchez, who threw out Beckham trying to steal to end the top of the 4th, leads off the bottom of the 4th. The first pitch is down and in. Ball, no strikes. Foul right back out of play.
A couple of off-speed pitches here to Sanchez to start it off. Introduce the curveball. You know, some of these guys, especially these starters that have 4 pitches, may keep a pitch in reserve. You don't see it too much early in the game, and then all of a sudden here it comes. Another one right there.
And it's 1-2. He's, after missing on the first pitch, he's got back out in front.
Curveball, changeup, another curveball, and that was a good one.
This one hits his bat and deflects off Sucre. So that's a foul ball, and Sucre hit on that glancing foul.
Right off the butt end of that bat, and yeah, catches Sucre.
It's catcher to catcher there. And a little tapper foul.
Getting beat up pretty good on this.
I'm telling you. Yeah. We've had the plate umpire Slowed a little bit. Now the Rays catcher. I mean, those three guys right there, Sanchez, Sucre, and Dan Iasonia, know something about surviving under difficult circumstances behind and around that plate. 2-2. Long one to left. Towering fly ball. Back to the wall goes Dickerson, and that one is gone. Sanchez ties the game with his 16th home run of the year. Tenth home run given up by Snell. And it's 2-2.
Boy, a lot of off speed that entire sequence, and maybe to the well one too many times. Another breaking ball, that one right there, that might have been the slider, kept it in the zone, and Gary Sanchez able to get to it. That was either a hard flat curveball or that was a slider that stayed just a little too far up.
Oh, fastball up, and that misses. Foul back, and it's 1-1 on Holiday. 2 runs, 4 hits. One. Holiday takes a strike with a fastball, so now he's ahead. Similar situation with Sanchez. He missed and then got back out in front and went 2-2, and then turned out to be a 7-pitch at bat when he hit the home run. Ground ball, that's through the hole. Base hit into left for Holiday.
Well, Holiday able to go down there and get a breaking ball, bottom part of the zone, hit that ball hard, get it through the left side. So here the back-to-back ABs. Blake Snell has been victimized by breaking balls, and the Yankee hitters doing a good job of staying on them here. Second time through the lineup.
Didi Gregorius drove in a run with a fly ball in the second inning, riding a 10-game hitting streak. Nobody out in the inning with a run home and a man on, and he fouls the first pitch, a high fastball. Well, through 15 hitters, 8 pitches out of the zone first pitch, 7 first pitch strikes in 15 hitters. One and one.
Well, that percentage just over time makes it much more difficult to pitch. I mean, you really have to be more fine with your command. You've got to find the right mix. You've got to try to climb your way back into counts, and that sometimes can take a toll.
Pop up foul. Will it stay playable? Plouffe over, but it's out of play. Now 1-2. Rays got a run in the first. New York a run in the second. The Rays a run in the third. New York a run in the fourth, and it's 2-2. In on him, and he pops him up left side. And that's Plouffe near the mound. That's the first out of the inning. So 1 out with Holiday still at first. And Garrett Cooper, who singled his first time up as the hitter.
Yeah, and he singled off an off-speed pitch, off of a changeup. He gets the out there on Gregorius by attacking him with the fastball. And I'd like to see him go back to a little bit more of that. You don't completely abandon off-speed in the secondary pitches, but get back to that good heater in the zone. That one not so much in another first pitch ball.
Yeah, 1-0. Missed the fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You remember that last start where we talked about, you know, he was decisive, he worked with a quicker tempo, got into a rhythm, but how many fastballs in that start? He really went glove side, pounded it in. You don't have to do that a ton, but that put him in an aggressive mindset. That's why you want to see him get back to the fastball here.
2 balls and a strike. That throw down to first. Holiday flinching behind the mitt there of Duda.
You know, that was one of those lull you to sleep by getting up nice and slow, like you're going to toss it back to the pitcher, and then Sucre shoots it down there, trying to catch Holiday by surprise.
Three and one.
Right now, just not able to command that fastball, and so you like the idea of 4 straight here to start the at bat, but only one has been able to catch the zone, and you're in a tough count here.
Full count. Yankees have tied it on the home run by Gary Sanchez. Holiday singled. He's at first with 1 out after the pop to third by Gregorius, and a full count to Garrett Cooper. Fouls this one back. And the fastball misses outside. 1 out walk pushes Holiday into scoring position at second. 2 on with only 1 out. Todd Frazier is going to be the hitter, and Jim Hickey heads to the mound. MLB.com at bat is your #1 mobile app for live Rays baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get Rays home screen icons and app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, StatCast, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today. They break up the conference out there. Todd Frazier, the third baseman, will be the hitter. Frazier with a homer and a couple of runs batted in the 9 games, this being the 10th he has played. Had a couple of hits and a run batted in Thursday. 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored last night. Here he is with 2 men on and 1 out in the 4th. First pitch misses. 1 ball, no strikes. Fly ball right side. Souza Jr. coming in, still there to make the catch. And back in at first and second. Duda was out from first base in shallow right field. Beckham was out there. And Souza came in to make the grab.
Well, that ball off the end of the bat, and everybody, maybe that's got a chance to drop in. You could see how the wind out there had knocked some balls down earlier in the game. But Souza hustles on, makes the catch, and now with 2 outs, you see the flags whipping up here above the stadium.
Ronald Torreyes. And there's a pitch outside. So he's now 7 of 18 in first pitch strikes. Foul back. He's missed on that first pitch to the last 5 consecutive hitters. Walking on the edge.
Yeah, totally. And a lot of these pitching coaches will say, listen, it's not all about first pitch strikes, but it's the 1-1 count. It's the swing count, 2-1, 1-2. And for the most part, that's true. But when you are really struggling with first pitch strikes, and your percentage as low as it is for Blake Snell here this afternoon, you have to fight so hard so often to get back to 1-1. It just takes a toll when it's all afternoon long. Nice curveball there.
1-2.
That is. We all wish we could spin one like that.
Well, you see these pitches like that, and you just wonder if he had a little more room, what he could do with all that.
Well, this at bat in this inning may be over.
A ball, 2 strikes now. 2-2. Tie ball game here. Boston's home tonight against Kansas City. Two. Ground ball third. Ploufe's throw across the diamond in time, and the damage limited to the leadoff home run. At the end of 4, we're tied 2-2. Save you 15% or more on car insurance. Jesus Sucre will get a new beginning here. He was at the plate in the 4th when Beckham was caught trying to steal. Adam Warren on the mound, a ball and no strikes the count. It's foul down the right side, tailing back into the crowd. 1-1. Little tapper. That could be tough. Barehanded play, and Warren throws him out. That's a nice play by Warren. He had the catcher Sucre going down the line. That helped, but that's a nice play by the right-hander Warren.
We need to go back and check Warren's bio and see what other positions that he has played, because this was smooth. Getting off the mound, barehanded, get rid of it right there without even making a step. And boy, he finds Garrett Cooper's chest with that throw.
Well, we all know that pitchers are athletes in the middle of that diamond.
You know what? Some of us are, Dwayne. Some of us are not.
Well, that was an impressive play by Adam Warren.
I didn't really think that he had a chance. I really didn't. Even with Sucre running.
Here's Peter Borges. That's a strike. Borges has homered, also reached on a fielder's choice and scored. So he's accounted for both runs for the Rays. There's a tap down to third. Short hopped, and Frazier comes up with it. A couple of outs here. And then we get Steven Souza Jr. We mentioned we've had a number of Rays fans up here for this series, and a group of young baseball players playing in the 12-year-old Kangaroo Court baseball group from Clearwater. They're playing in Long Island today. If they win that one, they go to the championship round of the National Youth Baseball Championships. They were at the game last night rooting for the Rays, and so we're going to root for the Kangaroo Court 12-year-olds to win in Long Island today. Wish them the best and hope that they play again tomorrow. Steven Souza Jr. takes the pitch down. 1 ball and no strikes. How about that? You're 12 years old. You're playing in a great competitive baseball tournament. You come to New York to do it.
Yeah.
You get to come to Yankee Stadium and see the Rays play, root for them. Here's Souza Jr. hitting a towering fly ball back toward the corner. Does it have enough? That one is gone. Home run. Steven Souza Jr. drops it into the seats just beyond that 318 marker and just a few feet fair. His 22nd home run of the year, and the Rays take the lead 3-2. Steven Souza Jr. now with 64 runs batted in. Both totals career highs for him.
And the breaking ball stayed up, and Souza Jr. was able to swat it down the line, checking to see if that was going to stay fair. And it stays fair, and it's, well, second row.
Alex Cobb checking it out, making sure it's fair.
It's up and it's good.
Yeah. He ought to at least get the 3 for a field goal.
Well, here you go, Dwayne.
Yeah, well, it's the 3rd run.
Well, whatever that is. Someone needs to calibrate this machine up here.
1-1 the count. So the Rays take the lead, their 2nd home run of the game. Borges opened with a homer, and now Souza Jr. with one right down the line.
Well, and every time the Yankees have been able to come back and tie the game, the Rays push it back out to a run. You get the feeling that the Rays know that they need this game. Absolutely need this game, if nothing else than the overall mental well-being of the club.
Yep. There's a high fly ball to left by Longoria. Is that ball going to be fair? It is a foul ball. Longoria making a bid to go back-to-back with Steven Souza Jr., but he pulled it just foul.
Same type of pitch, same swing, and this one ends up on the wrong side of the pole.
Longoria making sure, watching it all the way down the line. And that one hit sharply, and what a stop by Torres. Throw to first, got him. Outstanding defensive work. A couple of very good plays defensively for New York in the inning. But the Rays grab the lead on the home run off the bat of Steven Souza Jr. We're through 4.5 in New York, and the Rays lead 3-2. At the top of the fifth, giving the Rays a 3-2 lead. So on to the bottom of the fifth we go. Blake Snell still out there on the mound for the Rays to face the top of the New York lineup. Brett Gardner, Clint Frazier, and Aaron Judge. Snell touched for the home run in the fourth. Had a prolonged inning, 29 pitches. And now it's the top of the order to deal with. Gardner twice has gone out to left, and he takes the first pitch for a strike. And that has been an issue today for Snell. Coming in, he was 7 of 18. Now this called strike on the first pitch. One and one. Rays with 3 runs, 4 hits. New York 2 runs, 5 hits.
How about this? Dellin Betances is up in the pen for the Yankees. I mean, this is really something.
It's like October 1st.
It is. I'm telling you, Joe Girardi is managing this game like it is a must-win playoff game, with his team trailing here in the 5th inning. And you've got Betances up, but I'll tell you, he's got a thick bullpen. You talk about bringing Robertson back and Tommy Kahnle to go with Betances and Warren and Chad Green, Aroldis Chapman.
Two and two. Well, that White Sox deal gave them 2 big arms in the bullpen and a big bat at third. Up the left side, that's going to slice into the seats. Holds the count at 2-2. Blake Snell had a 12-pitch first, 10 pitches in the second when he gave up a run on a sacrifice fly, surrendering leadoff double to Sanchez. And a scoreless third and a 29-pitch fourth that saw the Yankees score a run on a home run by Sanchez. Strike three called on Gardner. That's out number one.
Well, he gets caught with the curveball. Right there, drops it right in there, tries to duck it a little bit because that ball was in the upper part of the zone, but definitely there for a strike and a big first out here for Snell. Very big.
Now Clint Frazier. Pitch down. Frazier in 20 games now up with the Yankees. He's hitting .282 to start play with 4 homers and 16 runs batted in. Into left field, and on the run is Dickerson to make the catch. A line drive to left. Nice play out there. Took a good play by Plouffe to get him in the third, and a good play out there and left by Dickerson on that line drive.
Well, he got a good angle on it. He was playing deep to begin with, so that helps out. Everything, you're going to keep it in front of you. And it was glove side. And he was able to get to it, put the second out on the board.
And a pitch to Judge is low. So another pitch out of the zone. And he comes back with a strike. 1-1. Well, you see the hot zones go up and away, down and away, and down and in. Otherwise, forget it.
Yeah, be very careful. Tread lightly in other zones. Well, we've seen that down and away here in this series work very, very well for the Rays. That doesn't mean you can live down there, but you can certainly, that's the safe spot. Down and away, keep it at the knees, and you know, maybe he shoots a ball to right field, but it's not something that he's going to be able to lift and hurt you with.
And a strike call there.
And there's your down and in.
Yep.
And that got cold.
2-2. Down and in, out of the zone. Full count. And ball 4. The Judge draws the second walk given up.
You can see Blake Snell not happy at all. Here comes Jim Hickey. You know, when you're getting these, you know, Blake Snell here has retired 4 in a row. Coming into this, the last 2 in the 4th. He gets 1-2 here, and then all of a sudden a 2-out walk, and Hickey right to the mound. This is the same kind of feel on the Rays side, trying to jump out in front of any potential problem, and Gary Sanchez has been that here this afternoon.
And here's the trend for Snell. He's gone through the 4th and 5th innings, and of the last 9 men he's faced, actually it's been more than that. Of the last 11 men he's faced, he's had 2 first pitch strikes. So he's 2-9 in first pitch strikes over the last 11 hitters he's faced.
Yeah, you're playing with fire. Playing with fire with a percentage that low. Sanchez in his last at-bat saw a lot of off-speed pitches, and here he gets one. And he ends the at-bat in a big way off of that breaking ball.
Well, he has a double and a home run. And now a man at first, 2 outs. And the first pitch is up, a fastball out of the zone. And a swing and a miss. Off speed. Now 1 ball, 1 strike. And just a little low right there. 2-1. Sanchez is now 3 for 5 with 2 homers and a double off Snell. Big cut and a miss. Fastball. Powerful swing on a mid-90s fastball.
Now he beat him with it. He beat him with it up in the zone in the 2-1 count.
Two and two. Judge the runner. And he got him. A foul tip strikeout. No runs, a walk, and a man left, and we're through 5 with the Rays holding a 1-run lead. It's 3-2. The Rays hold a 3-2 lead. Through 5, onto the 6th we go, and more from the New York bullpen.
How about it? Dellin Betances coming into this game with his team trailing in the top of the 6th inning. Pretty unprecedented territory for the Yankees, but what they're doing right now is they're banking that they can piece this together with that bullpen Betances, and we'll see who's going to come in after him. Hold the Rays scoreless the rest of the way and come back and win this game. That is the game plan right now by Joe Girardi, and he has revealed his hand here.
So an inning and 2/3 for Warren, and here's Betances. First pitch due to takes for ball 1. Plouffe to follow, and then Dickerson. Two and 0. Plouffe on deck. And now 3-0. Duda has walked and driven in a run with a sacrifice fly to center. And ball 4, he takes inside. A 4-pitch walk. And that has been an issue for Betances as of late.
Well, there it is. I mean, 19 walks in the 17 2/3 innings, and this one to Duda. You know, he was close on the last pitch, but that was it. Yanking the breaking ball, spraying the fastball all about, and Betances, you know, as important as he is to this club, needs to get that command under control.
There's Plouffe. Breaking ball catches the corner.
Can you do that? Command under control.
Well,
command.
Yeah, you could.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I think people know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But
we'll have to
confuse
see if we
myself.
can diagram that too.
I would draw, but again, my stylus was nowhere near where the actual mark went, which is why the check mark was so far away from walks that I think I'm done with the telestrator.
Okay.
I took the class too, Dwayne. I took the class. I know how to do it.
Little tap down to third, charged by Frazier. It's plays at first. Duda moves into second. Plouffe is the first out in the 6th.
I got a B-.
You did.
But it was good enough. It was good enough for circles and check marks.
And your attendance was good.
My attendance.
No auditing.
No, I was there. I was there each and every time. B- very disappointing.
Yeah.
And my kids bring home a B- and they make every class. They may get bent over a knee. I'm just saying. So I'm not saying that the B- I'm proud of, but it does allow me to check mark and to circle.
Sure, there you are.
But it's got to be calibrated, and it's not.
Yeah. Everything's relative. Got to adjust for relativity.
I mean, the next thing you know, I may be trying to.
Dickerson pops it down the right side, and out is Torres to make the catch in shallow right field. The second baseman hauls it in.
I could be trying to describe a defensive setup and how the Rays would maybe, you know, we're going to try and force a bunt and make something happen. I could end up with writing "I did it" right on the screen. Who knows?
Yeah, that would be breaking news. Here's Tim Beckham.
My undersized black leather glove on. Still one of the best skits of all time.
Beckham takes a breaking ball for a strike. He walked the last time. Caught stealing. Walk to Duda. He's now at second. 2 outs. Look out. Foul ball headed toward the New York dugout.
Yeah, watch out. I mean, just to the right of Joe Girardi. That ball, yeah, that's smart.
He says, you get over and stand in front of me.
And you have to do it.
Yeah. A check on a pitch down.
How do you not swing at that? That's a good take there by Tim Beckham, and I'm not sure if he just got locked up or you just read that spin out of the hand. But this is so hard, and the depth in the zone, and you're able to just check up, lay off. I guarantee you Betances thinking the same thing. How does he not offer at that pitch? But then let's have a meeting about it.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't we? This is the part really that you really do wonder what they're talking about. He's fastball curveball. Okay?
Yeah.
Fastball curveball. Yeah, sure there's a runner at second base, but pick one. And you switch up the side. I mean, I wonder what that phenomena is, because guess what? It's not just the Yankees. It's not just the Rays. We see it around the game. Lots of catcher-pitcher meetings.
Trying to keep those lines of communication open.
That's what the fingers are for.
2-2. Yeah, I've seen those communications.
Well, I'm going to give them a digit right now from up here. Here's my sign. First sign after 1.
Message received. Pretty clear when you start giving messages. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Duda with a lead at second. And a foul ball back. Fastball with something extra on it. You can see that one clocked in at 101. Rays took the lead on the Steven Souza Jr. home run in the 5th. Well, nothing wrong with the velocity. Coupled in this sequence at 101.
Cutting it loose. You got a runner in scoring position. You're already trailing by a run.
And strike 3 call. A delayed call by Dan Isanya, and Beckham not happy over that. A man left at second base, and we're going to go into the bottom of the 6th. Take another look at that pitch here in this 1-run game as the Rays lead 3-2. Off home run to this game, hit the second pitch of the game into the bullpen in left center field. The Yankees tied it with a fly ball in the 2nd. The Rays grabbed the lead with a run in the 3rd, and then Gary Sanchez tied it again with a home run in the 4th, and that led to the Steven Souza Jr. home run in the 5th inning. Solo shot with 2 outs. So it's 3-2 as we go to the bottom of inning 6. Blake Snell makes the first pitch, and Matt Holliday a big cut, and he fouls it, strike 1. Holliday with a ground ball to 3rd and a base hit. And quickly in the hole, 0-2.
See, instead of that changeup getting you back to 1-1, how nice is this?
Yeah.
That changeup gets you to 0-2. And now, boy, all the options that you have, all the different areas that you can go.
And a line drive base hit. Back toward the corner. Holliday makes the turn and holds. And there's a leadoff single on an 0-2 pitch. It can be frustrating.
Well, like we said, pitching up in the count like that, it's not It's not ideal, Dwayne. I mean, how frustrating is that? You get to 0-2, and that breaking ball right there, how Matt Holliday gets the barrel down to that pitch. You're thinking about bouncing that pitch. That's about 6-8 inches off the ground, and he's able to get it airborne enough to get it down into the corner. The good thing, though, the Rays and the hustle of Corey Dickerson keep him to a single, and now you still have that double play in order.
Here's Gregorius. He pops it up left side. That's going to be a foul ball out of play. Gregorius drove in a run with a sacrifice fly. And that was in the second inning. Had a high pop to third for an out in the fourth. One and one.
I'm going to tell you something right now, Dwayne.
Yes.
Here's one trend, and I believe that I'm 100% correct on this. Every hit given up today by Blake Snell has been on an off-speed pitch. Sanchez, the double, poked down the line. Cooper pulled one in the hole on a changeup.
Yep.
The home run was on a breaking ball. Matt Holliday, a base hit on a changeup. That double right there was on a breaking ball. Every hit has been on the off-speed.
Yep. What'd you have for Torreyes? The double?
I
think you're right.
Yeah, it was a changeup pulled down the line.
Yep. Fly ball, short left. Dickerson coming in is there to make the catch.
I want him to be. Those secondary pitches are good, but they're only as good as that fastball will take you. And I think there are times where he could stick with that fastball more, but you saw the reaction of Blake Snell, and this is why.
Well, he gets Gregorius for the first out, 1 on 1 out. That's going to be it. As Kevin Cash comes out. The bullpen, call to the bullpen, brought to you by the Florida Lottery.
At 3-2 with the runner aboard. Blake Snell's afternoon is over. I think you got to be happy with the way that he was able to perform here in a big game for the Rays. Lost the first 2 games of this series. You see the nice breaking ball there to Aaron Judge, and then going back up and getting him with the fastball. Gary Sanchez gets a breaking ball that he's able to get underneath and lift out to left field. All of a sudden you make an adjustment. Good breaking ball to catch Brett Gardner looking right there. Fastball up and away to Gary Sanchez. Gets him the next time up. And Blake Snell here with 5+ innings, 5 in the third. Just giving up the 2 earned runs, just a couple of walks. Runner on first he is responsible for. But I think overall that the Rays and Kevin Cash happy with the performance here of Blake Snell. really over his last 4 now, Dwayne.
And so Sergio Romo enters the game. Headley's going to hit. Chase Headley will pinch hit for Garrett Cooper. 1 on and 1 out. First pitch is a ball. Well, as we know, Romo heavy on the slider. The interesting thing about him, all right, he loads up on slider after slider, but there's a variation of his approach with the slider.
Yeah, he's got a couple different versions, and he's not afraid to change the speed, the shape, the slope of the pitch. Also with the changeup, he will mix in fastballs too.
Oh, 5 all to left. Dickerson's going to go back to the wall, and it's gone. An opposite field pinch hit home run. And Headley, on one swing of the bat, gives New York a 4-3 lead. So Headley drops one into the seats in left.
Chase Headley up there to kind of mitigate the slider. And he gets a pitch that's up in the zone and away from him. And watch how he stays through this. Gets that lift, strong swing, and he drops it a couple rows deep. How about that?
1-0 the count to Todd Frazier. Pitch is a strike, and it's 1-1. Well, Snell gone after 5 1/3, left with the lead, and 2 pitches later, he's out of this game altogether for a decision or not. Had a chance to win, but not now. He'll have a no decision. Two 2-1 count on Todd Frazier. The high popper, foul ball. Plouffe from third is there to make the catch. 2 gone. Third career pinch hit home run for Headley. Have to go back to 2009 for his other pinch hit home runs, and this one here puts a damper on Blake Snell's game and his day. One of those runs charged to him.
Well, now you think about the game plan of Joe Girardi with that bullpen, and Betances able to get out of the top of the 6th inning, and then here comes the back end. Rays are going to have to scratch across at least a run. They're going to have to score more than that if they want to win. There's Canely now getting loose, and then you've got Robertson, and you've got Chapman, and you've got options.
Want to know, Torres shortens and takes the pitch for a strike. 1-1. The ball, 2 strikes. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning, so the Rays with 3 shots left and now down by a run. Two and 2. A swing and a miss. I got a little piece of it, so he's still alive. Just a little bit of that one. So Romo touched for the home run, and just like that, he's on the hook. Blake Snell, 5 1/3, 3 runs, 6 hits, couple of walks, 3 strikeouts. He gave up a home run to Sanchez in the 4th. And now a reach and a miss by Torreyes, so he's out on strikes. Pinch hit home run by Headley will give New York the lead at the end of 6. It's 4-3 New York. Baseball break brought to you by T-Mobile. Well, a lot of action going on over in the Central Division in the American League. The Indians leading the Central on the strength of an 8-game winning streak, 56-45, and Kansas City now with a 9-game streak, 2 games back in the Central, 54-47, and the Rays are chasing Kansas City now for that second wild card spot. They are 2.5 back of Kansas City. Here we go to the 7th inning. There's the wild card. Boston up by a half game on Kansas City, and the Rays 2.5 back of Kansas City. Chase Headley takes over at first base. Tommy Kahnle, the new pitcher.
Yeah, great numbers. As you can see, the strikeout 67 in 40 1/3 innings, and an opponent's average of 194. Electric stuff. Big power fastball from Tommy Kahnle.
First pitch, Echeverria fouls it back. Rays shortstop 0 for 2. So Kahnle, the 4th New York pitcher. Smith 3 1/3, Warren an inning and 2/3, Betances 1 inning, and now Kahnle. Betances becomes the pitcher of record. Another foul ball, and that one is out of play, straight back. Rays got 2 runs off Smith, who gave up a home run. Warren gave up the home run to Souza. Borges and Souza have homered for the Rays. And a swing and a miss, and he powered that one. An 0-2 fastball at 99, up out of the zone and right by Echeverria.
Just a perfect location here. You can see Gary Sanchez kind of in a little haunch right there. Wants that fastball up and giving Kahnle a good target to get it up there, and he did at 99, and AB over.
Sucre is going to be lifted. Malik Smith will pinch hit for him. Pitch is too high. 98. He's got the right-hander Cishek up in the bullpen. Tapper foul. 1-1. Smith trying to somehow work his way aboard against the hard throwing right-hander. It's 2-1. Two and two. And there's a base hit, punched through the middle, picked up in right center by Judge. A pinch hit, base hit from Alex Smith.
I think that was off a changeup too. You could see Alex Smith. That was the third changeup he had seen in the AB. And boy, just a little bit out in front, but he kept his hands back. Body starts, hands stay back, and he just swats that ball into center field. And now you've got speed aboard with one out.
And Logan Morrison will pinch hit for Peter Borges.
And Kevin Cash starting to empty the tank here. As this game gets later and later, they're down a run.
And a line drive, base hit into right field. Two hops the wall. There goes Smith to third on a pinch hit for Logan Morrison. And he didn't waste any time jumping on the first pitch, and the Rays have men on the corners. First and third now.
Wait, first pitch fastball, and that is middle belt. Logan Morrison all over it. Pick it up, put it down, everything on time. That ball roped out to the wall in right field. Logan a little gimpy getting down that line, but
he's had the bad foot.
You could see that. But how about coming through with that hit? Now first and third. And Tommy Kahnle, in the worst way, needs a ground ball to the middle infielders or a strikeout. Souza Jr. going to look to elevate, get the ball in the air, at least get the run in.
Souza 2 for 3, a single and a home run in this game. Out front, boy, you've got to be geared for the hard stuff, and anything other than that, it's difficult to deal with.
I mean, it was the third changeup before Malik Smith made that adjustment and got the hit. And that right there was a slider. Those are the three pitches, the three offerings.
He goes back and misses. It's 1-1. Down and away. Smith at third. Morrison at first. And a foul ball into the Rays dugout down the far side. And here's the fifth inning home run by Steven Souza Jr. That gave the Rays the lead at the time.
Yeah, just a matter, was it going to stay fair and be far enough? Second row, got a breaking ball that kind of floated out over the middle of the plate. Continues to add to that career high home run total.
Upstairs. Back to the fastball at 98.
That's a big time take by Souza Jr. But now you start to think about that slider again down and away. You raise the eye level, you get a hitter You're going to follow that pitch in. Everything's going to quicken up. And now all of a sudden you go breaking ball down and away. And that's what I suspect they're going to do.
2-2. And he takes it up and off the plate.
Yeah, he tried to overthrow that. That right there, Canely tried to jump on that slider, elbow dipped, he got around the baseball, and it stayed up, and he pulled it off the plate.
Longoria on deck. Full count to Souza Jr. And he got him. He came back and strikes him out.
That's a, you know, we talk about being your own pitching coach. That's making the adjustment right there. The 2-2 breaking ball, he pulled it, he tried to overthrow it, got under it. He makes the adjustment, he stays on top, and he drops that one in a perfect place and picks up the strikeout. That is a nice adjustment, one pitch to the next.
Now the Rays get Austin Pruitt to pinch run now at first for Morrison. You had a feeling that even before they had Souza up there to hit, they were looking maybe for Pruitt, and so now with 2 outs he takes over as a pinch runner. And here's Evan Longoria. Up the right side, that ball will be a foul ball. Boy, Longoria had a good look at it right down the line. For a moment off the bat you thought that might be fair, and boy, that would have been fun, but it turned out to slice foul.
By a foot and a half maybe.
Yep.
My goodness, reaching out for that slider. You know, he watched Steven Souza Jr.'s at bat and has to figure that he's going to get attacked the same way, and he was ready for that slider. It stayed up, he just could not keep it fair. You see how far off the plate it was, and he went out there and almost poked it down the line for extra bases.
First and third, 2 outs, a strike the count. Longoria chops it foul behind Charlie Montoyo this time. 0-2. Four-3 ball game, top of the 7th. Rays with men on the corners. Takes it wide. 1-2. The Rays led after 5, 3-2. Left a man at second in the 6th. The Yankees scored on a 2-run pinch hit home run by Headley in the bottom to take the lead. We're in the 7th, and the 1-2 pitch to Evan Longoria, and he pops it up. It's a Sanchez, the catcher, back of the plate, making the grab, and the Rays leave 2. No runs, 2 hits, and we go to the bottom of the 7th, 4-3 New York. The Rays open, got a run, a leadoff homer from Peter Borges. It's been back and forth. The Rays had taken a 3-2 lead until the 6th, when the Yankees scored 2 on the pinch hit home run by Chase Headley, and so they come in to hit in the bottom of the 7th. 1-run ball game, 4-3 in the 3rd game of this 4-game series. Right now, let's check in with Alex Cordry.
Thank you, Dwayne. Yeah, well, getting traded to a new team comes with a lot of stress. As right-hander Steve Cishek put it, you feel like the new kid in school because everything is moving so quickly. He said to ease the transition, he did homework on his new teammates last night when he arrived in New York. He said, we're in a playoff run, and I want to do everything I can to help out. Getting to know the guys quicker will help for sure. What also helped the righty this morning, he rode over to Yankee Stadium with his new pitching coach, Jim Hickey, looking to get acclimated. Dwayne.
And it is Cishek. Thank you very much, Alex, for that. Steve Cishek, the veteran right-hander. 8 major league seasons and closing in on 400 games.
Well, another one of those guys that's going to give you the odd angle. You can see right there, it gets a little velocity with that fastball. Not straight out there at 90 degrees, a little bit below that. Sweep the breaking ball, run the fastball all over the place. This is what he's done with Seattle. 20 innings of work, 15 strikeouts, and the opponent's average of 183, but certainly no stranger to big situations. Like you said, approaching 400 games. He's seen an awful lot here at the major league level, and he's going to help the Rays out immensely down the stretch.
Wilson Ramos takes over behind the plate with Sucre lifted for the pinch hitter. Alex Smith stays on to play center field. Cishek's pitch. Gardner takes it for a ball. Snell 5 1/3. 2/3 for Romo. There's a strike. Gardner 0 for 3. Robertson up in the bullpen for New York. One and two.
How he tucks that breaking ball right in behind Brett Gardner. That is a nasty pitch, and you see Brett Gardner just taking a moment to try to regroup here as he finds himself down 1 and 2.
Rays got Cishek from Seattle for Erasmo Ramirez, and a swing and a miss. So Gardner out on strikes for the 2nd time in this game.
Well, that's some really good velocity from that arm angle. You see Cishek down there underneath. Look at that arm side run up in the zone. 92.
Clint Frazier. It's wide. Rays adding Cishek to the roster. They optioned Adam Kolarek, the left-hander, to the minor leagues. One and one now. Cishek last year at the end of the season in October had surgery to address a left labrum tear in his hip. 1 and 2. He led the Mariners last year with 25 saves. Two and two. On deck, Aaron Judge. Pitch coming in on Frazier, pops it up. Foul ball will carry out of play. Here's what's coming up tomorrow on Rays Live, the pregame show. presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. We'll be with you at 12:30, beginning the pregame coverage. Jake Faria on the hill for the Rays, and Orestes will break down Aaron Judge, who is on deck right now. Swing and a miss on the fastball. Frazier's out. 2 strikeouts.
Boy, a lot to like here. Cishek again being able to kind of dazzle you with the breaking ball and then close you with the fastball. Another one, arm side up, late movement, get a little bit of running action on that pitch, and very good velocity.
Aaron Judge twice has struck out, walked his last time. Oh, 1 the count. And that's a strike down around the knees. Just a little bit of that one to foul it back.
The thing about Cishek that's so fun to watch, all these guys that throw from that angle, but especially guys that can create velocity from down there, it's impossible for you to throw the ball straight. Impossible. Just by basis of your release point and your release angle, nothing will be straight. The slider, I mean, it's going to take off on you. The fastball is going to have arm side run.
Romo and Betances are the pitchers of record. That will be foul, drifting and with some slice on it, out of play. 4-3 New York right now, bottom of the 7th inning. Baltimore is in Texas tonight, where Beltre is 2 hits short of 3,000, and there's a swing and a miss. Judge out on strikes. Cishek strikes out the side in his Rays debut. 3 up, 3 down. He got Gardner on the fastball with that run away, and then Frazier on the movement in, and he strikes out Judge swinging. We go to the 8th, 4-3 New York. Game 4-3 as we head into the 8th inning. Lucas Duda will lead off against David Robertson, the new pitcher, the 5th of the game. Caleb Smith started, worked 3 1/3. Warren, Betances, Canely, and now Robertson. Pitch is ball 1 to Duda. 43,015 here today in the Bronx for game 3 of the 4-game series. It's 2-0. There's a long one, high down the right side. That baby is well tagged, and it's gone into the upper deck off the bat of Lucas Duda. Ahead in the count, 2-0, and boy, did he power that one out of here. And this game is tied 4-4. The second run batted in of this game. He homered last night and is homered again today. 4-4 ball game.
Wow, he got a hanger, a ball moving right into the swing here, and couldn't you keep it fair? That ball is launched, and I mean tape measure, 3rd deck.
Now pinch hitting for Plouffe is Brad Miller. After that one, and a swing and a miss.
I mean, welcome to the race. Welcome to the pennant race.
Miller shows bunt. And everybody back. Took the pitch, and it's 0-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Rays have tied it on the blast by Duda. Ground ball right side. Torres moves to his right and makes the throw to first. That's the first out. Rays have hit 3 home runs today. And this one in the 8th by Duda has evened the game at 4. Yankees have hit 2. Here's Corey Dickerson. Pitch is down. The pitchers of record at the moment, Cishek and Robertson, in a tie game. Two and 0. It's Tommy Hunter in the Rays bullpen. It's out there on the corner. 2-1.
Coming down to the wire here. Battle of the bullpens. Both of these teams investing heavily in that part of the clubs.
Swing and a miss. 2-2. It's bullpens and big swings.
Yeah, I'm from both squads.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly right. No one getting cheated. What an impressive debut by Steve Cishek.
Ground ball, right side, got to go through. Base hit into right. First hit for Dickerson in this game. It comes with 1 out.
Spread out on the stance. Very little in the way of a stride. Just pick up the heel, put it back down, and he makes contact and finds a hole on the right side. Able to get it by the diving Headley.
Well, Tim Beckham now stepping in, 0 for 2 with a walk today. Beckham 0 for 3 last night. Pitches a strike. Had a couple of hits in the game on Thursday. Over to first, runner back in. Robertson in the game for an inning in the 9th last night. Tanaka worked 8th, then Robertson the 9th. Lifted out of play. 0-2. That's strike 3. Beckham out on strikes for the 2nd time. And out number 2 in the 8th.
And Sonia jumped all over that as Beckham started to commit to that pitch. Robertson now 1 out away from getting out of this, as you're going to take a look right here. And breaking ball down and away. He started, and I signed and said, yes, you went a little bit too far.
Adeiny Echeverria now against David Robertson. And that's a strike. And a move to first. Dickerson is the runner. Robertson back with the Yankees, and that deal with the White Sox. He was originally drafted by the Yankees in 06. Got to the big leagues for the first time in 2008. Fly ball, short center. That is out number 3. Gardner making the catch. Rays get the tying run on a long blast into the upper deck by Lucas Duda. Bottom of the 8th coming. It's a 4-4 ball game. We've seen a couple of them here in the last inning or two, and Steve Cishek making his Rays debut. Very impressive.
Yeah, I'll tell you, you think about Cishek, you think about that sweeping slider, but all 3 strikeouts come on the fastball. Very good velocity and very good arm side run with that pitch. And then followed up by Lucas Duda. In a 2-0 count, he gets a mistake, and boy, does he hammer it. Third deck here at Yankee Stadium, just inside the fair pole, and that ties the ball game up. Having another nice game for the Rays.
Tommy Hunter on now as he faces Gary Sanchez. Hits one into center, and Malik Smith is there to make the catch. So 1 pitch, and Sanchez is retired. Other changes for the Rays with Hunter on for the 37th time. At second base, Brad Miller takes over there after pinch hitting, so he stays on. And Beckham moves from second to third. Miller had hit for Plouffe. So Beckham is now the third baseman with Miller at second. And Holiday takes a strike. Holiday 2 out of 3. Better in DH. Down to second. Miller makes the play. 2 gone. Chapman up in the bullpen for the Yankees. Didi Gregorius drove in a run with a fly ball to center in the second. Officially 0 for 2. Riding a 10-game hitting streak. Down and in, 1-0. And there's a liner caught at third by Beckham, and it's a 1-2-3-8 for Hunter. On to inning number 9 we go. Malik Smith will lead it off, followed by Ramos and Souza Jr. From the Big Apple, this game moves into the 9th. Rays and the Yankees tied 4-4. Aroldis Chapman on the mound now, pitcher number 6 of this game for the Yankees.
Well, he of the triple-digit fastball and occasionally command issues. You see just 12 walks in 28 2/3 innings, but you got to keep your eye on that. Also keep your eye on the radar gun because he will light it up.
He worked 2 innings in the game here Thursday and emerged with the win in 11 innings, 6-5. Bruins will have Mallex Smith to lead off with Ramos and Souza Jr. due to follow. Smith pinch hit in the 7th, singled when the Rays put a first and third 1-out threat together, but stranded both men. Tied it in the 8th on the Duda home run. And the pitch is a strike at 100. And strike 2 at 101.
At the knees on the outside corner. That's why Mallex Smith is like, you're kidding me. I'm hoping that pitch was going to be called a ball. This is a borderline pitch, and maybe not even that borderline.
It's low. 1-2. Yeah, he painted him up on the first 2 pitches at 101.
Well, I mean, what do you do? Try to foul it off and hope to get a mistake and put a ball in play and find a hole.
2 balls, 2 strikes now.
Now you work yourself back into the count.
It's Ramos on deck. Swing and a miss. Back to the fastball at 102. 1 away. 9th strikeout for New York pitching.
Really not a whole lot to break down here. The plus fastball, one of the best in the game. Certainly one of the hardest consistently in triple digits. He's not a guy that scrapes it every now and then.
Ramos grounded out against him. Grounded to third on Thursday. And takes 102 for a strike. Colomé and Boxberger up in the bullpen for the Rays. It's fouled into the seats the other way. 0-2. I think there's catcher interference, and Ramos is going to be awarded first base.
I think that's the second time this series that we've seen Gary Sanchez reaching a little bit too far, and the Rays catch some catcher's interference. Reach out right there again, and immediately Wilson Ramos is pointing back to Dan Iasanya and saying, hey, listen, I caught the glove. He did. He didn't catch much of it.
Now a ground ball right side by Souza Jr. Throw to second.
Wow.
And a scoop. Gregorius on the short hop comes up with the throw and keeps his foot on the bag for the force.
I'll tell you what, Torreyes was moving so far to his left. I didn't think, and the ball wasn't hit that hard. I didn't think there was any way he was going to try to get Ramos at second, just take the out at first. But in wanting to keep the lead runner from getting to second here with 2 outs, he does try to make that play. Spins, throws. It's a little bit low, and you see Gregorius able to scoop, keep the foot on the bag, and they do get the force out.
Souza Jr. aboard, and Evan Longoria takes strike 1. Longoria did not face Chapman here Thursday. And a move to first. Souza Jr. back in. Souza starts to go, stops, and the pitch is fouled by Longoria. That one in at 103, and so the count is strike 2 on Evan. Duda is on deck. Now Souza goes. They throw over, and he is safe at second base. Ball loose. He's going to go to third. And Souza winds up at third. The ball loose. Gregorius shaken on the play. Was slow in getting up. So Souza was breaking. Chapman went out there, made the toss to first. And Souza winds up going to third.
Well, what it did, the throw forced Gregorius to try to tag Souza Jr. Behind the back. And you'll see right here, they picked the right pitch to go over on, and then the throw here. And see Gregorius trying to tag him, and he gets him right in the back of the arm. And that elbow area, that's what you're always afraid of here. They see that throw on the wrong side of Souza. And the tag right there, the ball's knocked out of the glove, and he catches the back of the left arm of Gregorius. Well, how about that attempt at a reach around tag?
So a steal for Souza Jr. And boy, that's a tough error for Gregorius to take. They're going to give him an error. And Souza winds up at third.
Yeah, well, the throw by Headley. You could see how Gregorius had moved inside the bag. Usually you throw that right up inside and he's able to make the tag, but that ball went back towards the outside. That's what forced the tough tag attempt. That is a tough error.
So with 2 strikes to count to Longoria, Souza winds up at third on the steal and the error. 2 outs in the ninth. And a foul ball, that went off the facing of the New York dugout. Yeah, they're going to get some protection, higher screening over there if they keep getting shots like that.
You know, you wonder with all the velocity in the game.
Yep.
I mean, you may need to raise those things up a little bit.
Oh, 2. And another foul ball. So a battle here between Chapman and Longoria. That one at 104.
I mean, even if the gun's a little excited here, 104. Come on.
Look at that. The last 3, 103, 104, 104. Popped up on the right side, foul ball. Headley makes the catch, and the Rays leave a man at third. No runs, a man left. 4-4 tie. we'll take a look at tomorrow's starters. Jake Faria on the hill for the Rays, and the left-hander Jordan Montgomery for the New York Yankees. Our coverage begins at 12:30 right here on Fox Sports Sun. Faria, after his 6th win, 5-1. Jordan 7-5. We're tied in this one, 4-4, headed into the bottom of the 9th inning. Brad Boxberger will be pitcher number 5 for the Rays, on to face Chase Headley.
Well, on for the 11th time, 9 in the 3rd innings, 11 strikeouts, good opponent's average. You got to watch the walks here. You need Brad Boxberger to come in here with the fastball, the changeup. He's been throwing the slider a little bit more this season, and pound that zone here at the bottom of the Yankee order.
Headley hit the pinch hit home run in the 6th inning with Holiday aboard. At the time, it gave New York a 4-3 lead. Rays tied it in the 8th on the Lucas Duda home run. And a couple of quick strikes here by Boxberger on Headley. Fouls it. Foul the fastball. Todd Frazier on deck. Ronald Torre is due to hit 3rd. Upstairs, 1-2. Boxberger pitched an inning in the game here Thursday, game 1 of the series. And he misses too low, 2-2.
Pretty good take there by Chase Headley, trying to put him away with that slider down and in. Now the count back to even. Got to get the lead man.
Still 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And you don't see anybody as of now warming up in that Yankee bullpen. You wonder if Chapman, for the 2nd time in this series, may come out for that 2nd inning.
Yeah, he did the other night in the 11-inning game. Wound up getting the win. Full count. And ball 4 after getting ahead. Boxberger loses Headley.
That's what we talked about before the inning started. Brad Boxberger, the opponent's average very good against him, but that's now the 7th walk in 9 in the 3rd innings. And so the command has been a little bit shaky for Brad since coming back. And a leadoff walk here is not exactly what you wanted, but you also don't think that Todd Frazier is going to be one to bunt here. So,
well, Ellsbury's going to run at first. He'll be the pinch runner for Headley. Todd Frazier, the hitter. And a move to first. Ellsbury is back in. Enough time. Frazier stepping back, and Ellsbury puts that protective covering on that right wrist.
no stolen base attempts here off of Brad in 2017.
Ellsbury goes. The pitch is a ball The throw is not in time. No, Ellsbury picks up a steal of second, pitch running for Headley.
And boy, did he pick the right pitch to run on. There he gets a pretty good lead, gets a pretty good break. He runs on a slider that was down, and he gets in pretty easily. Now the matter of just staying on the base, which he's able to do.
And Miller trying to keep that tag on him just in case. So a big steal for Ellsbury. 1-0 to Frazier. 1-1. Frazier's grounded out, flied out, and fouled out. A 1-1 count on him now. Two and one. Three balls and a strike.
You got to be careful here. You've got to be very careful.
4-4, bottom of the ninth, 3-1 count. Ellsbury at second. Pitch to Frazier, and he hits him. So Frazier heads to first, hit by a pitch. 2 on with nobody out. Cash on the phone.
Maybe too late. You're going to have to live with Boxberger here for at least the next couple of hitters with nobody up. Well, let's see how the Yankees play this out.
Well, Ronald Torreyes is the hitter. He doubled in the third. Ground ball and a strikeout since then.
Yeah, do you even think about a bunt here? Yeah, and they're going to come out and talk. You got Beckham over at third, and he's not used to playing third base in these types of situations with bunt plays when you've got the more exotic defenses to be able to put on. And so Jim Hickey's going to go over anything. But if you did have Torreyes bunt, Wayne, if you're looking ahead, let's say that he's successful. Now you got runners at second and third. You're going to walk Gardner to then get to Clint Frazier.
Yeah.
So it'd be bases loaded Clint Frazier. Is that something Girardi wants to do? Do you let Torreyes hit away and take the risk of hitting into a double play?
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot at play here. Jim Hickey making sure that the Rays are covered on their end, and that Tim Beckham and Lucas Duda, who's also new to this ball club, are up to speed on what kind of defense they're going to play here. All the while, Mr. Jennings getting ready in a hurry.
The left-handed bat of Gardner on deck, and he's played a key role here. Beckham close at third. They show the bunt. They throw back to second, and safe there. They had Echeverria at the bag, and getting back in there ahead of the peg down to Ellsbury.
Almost. You see Ellsbury, oh boy. See, I tell you, man, you venture off a bag, and that throw is there in time. But the left foot gets back before the tag gets there. You're anticipating, almost got too far away. I can't believe Torreyes did not offer it that.
Now he takes it wide. 2-0.
This too, I tell you, when he squared around right there, Lucas Duda was right up in his face. And you think Torreyes would want to bump that ball down the third base line. Beckham had retreated towards the bag. There would be nobody there to field it except for Boxberger. He's going to have to come out hard.
Now the pitch up and in, and he bunts it foul. Yeah, he offered. On the appeal down, Lance Barksdale says that's a strike. It's 2-1. Take a look at this.
Well, he squares around. The ball runs up and in. Oh, they're saying he's kind of pulled that bat back towards the shoulder. See him right here. Like it's out there exposed. He's pulling it. That ball's up close. Didn't hit anything.
Rays got a break there.
Yes, they did. They'll take that. Matt Boxberger can go for the strikeout now. They're still going to go for the bunt.
And the bunt. Boxberger lets it roll by him.
That's what we're just talking about, Dwayne. With Tim Beckham retreating towards the bag, Boxberger's going to have to be the guy that fields the bunt going up the third base line. And that's what we're talking about with this These guys have not worked together in these roles, and miscommunication, and now bases juice nobody. Here it is. Here's the bunt. You see Beckham starts to go and then retreats. Boxberger lets the bunt go by, and there's no one there to field it. That's exactly what we were highlighting. The Yankees took advantage of it, and now they're in real trouble.
Well, the Rays are going to make a pitching change, and what a spot they are in. Call to the bullpen. Brought to you by the Florida Lottery. Of the ninth inning, tied 4-4, and the Yankees have loaded the bases.
Oh, this is a tough read for Tim Beckham. He's not a third baseman. Playing shortstop, playing second base, and you can see Torreyes bunt the ball up the third base line. The Rays do not have the crash play on, which means that there has to be a read there, and Boxberger coming off the mound has to beeline for the baseball. And you can see that he pulls up. Beckham had safely gone back to third, and so there's nobody there to make the play. And quite frankly, that's what you were afraid of in that bunt defense. You almost wonder, you take the thought process out of it, you just play the crash play and let Beckham come in. I mean, too late now. And it's up to Dan Jennings to try to find a way out of this mess.
Jennings facing Gardner, and Brett Gardner hit by a pitch in the 8th inning last night when they added a final run. He opened the game last night with a home run, won it here Thursday with a home run, and now bases loaded, and he takes the first pitch. That's a strike. Well, he had tripled and scored the tying run in the 9th Thursday, and then in the 11th hit a 1-1 pitch out to right field to give New York a 6-5 win. Scored 3 times last night in their 6-1 win. Strike the count. And a base hit into center. Gardner does it again. And the Yankees win in the bottom of the ninth, 5-4. Gardner drives in the winning run on a base hit to center field, and the Yankees have taken the first 3 games of this 4-game series. York goes to 56 and 46, 10 full over 500. The Rays fall to 53 and 52.
And it all starts with the leadoff walk in the inning. You know, when Brad Boxberger had gotten ahead of Chase Headley and then let him off the hook with the walk, and then all of a sudden Todd Frazier gets hit by a pitch, and Tom Foley right there talking to Tim Beckham. Tim Beckham put into a tough spot over at third base in a bunt situation with Ronald Torreyes. We talked about it before it happened, what Torreyes was going to try and do. The Rays had gone over their bunt defense, and the read right there by Tim Beckham, he's trying to read it. Boxberger's trying to get there, not able to do it, and then with the bases loaded, take a fastball, hit a fastball, ball game over.
So Gardner, who had not had a hit all day, has one in the ninth to end it on the second pitch delivered by Dan Jennings. And the Yankees win this one 5-4. For Brian Anderson and Alex Cordry, Dwayne Stats, hope you've enjoyed the telecast and not the outcome. Rays Live, the postgame presented by WB Mason, comes your way next.